Speaking on that, Jay, in terms of talents, I think we once had an argument, and you were surprised when I said to you that I might just have picked KDB over Hazard just because of consistency, which just speaks to that magic versus output, right? And obviously, you're firmly in terms of the Belgian grace, you're firmly on the side of
I love Hazard, man.
Hazard, right? And I was like, I know Hazard does magical things, but you can do it almost in any position. Can give you so much set pieces, whatever is given De Bruyne, and that's because he's become a machine, a byproduct of just so many great things. He has to then, at this point in time, call time on his City career, not because he has said, "Guys, I'm good. I'm looking to see greener pastures elsewhere." It's because between Pep Guardiola and the directors of football at Man City, they were like, you know what? Let's not renew. We've seen the best of Kevin De Bruyne, and that's that. What do you make of this end to his career, number one, and number two, the fact that it was decided by management, with the player himself? What do you think they've seen, and have you seen the same?
I told you when we had the debate around Salah is the guys who power ways with the
That
money.
risk.
Ultimately, they're the ones who have to make that decision, right?
Yeah.
And it is the right time for KDB to leave because in the previous video as well, we're doing the keep or sell where Manchester City are concerned. I did say Kevin De Bruyne is his time at Manchester City has come to an end, and it's been a glorious decade. He's absolutely won everything, and in a period that rivals, the only period that truly rivals the dominance we saw with Manchester United under Sir Alex, and maybe in some respect in a shorter time scale, even more dominant. You know, six titles in 7 years. The first team to win the league title 4 times in a row. There's the treble. There's the local treble as well. Absolutely won everything, and with KDB at the heart of that, he is City's greatest player for me, and that's been something that's been up for debate. This is the greatest era, of course. Is it Aguero? Is it David Silva? Is it Yaya Toure? Is it KDB? Some might say, is it Company as well? And he's been there during those stints, right? And for me, don't ask me who is left out. For me, he's in the Premier League all time 11 as one of the, if we're playing 4-3-3, as one of the three midfielders, because I remember when I first then saw KDB for Manchester City in terms of his greatness. He looked like an amalgamation or a love child between David Beckham and Stevie G in terms of like how he was able to deliver the ball with accuracy, with power, with precision, and he was also able to carry the ball, and he was also able to hit the ball with the ferocity that he did. If you need him to be a goal scorer, I'll give you that. If you need him to be a creator, he'll do that. He's got the second most assists in Premier League history behind Ryan Giggs, whose record is never going to be touched because Giggs played forever, you know. But in terms of the assists per or minutes per assist, he's easily right lapping the field, and it's not just the raw numbers. Kevin De Bruyne did give me that feeling when watching him as well, in terms of, man, this guy can play.
Yeah.
This dude can play, because when he got signed for 50 million, it's like you did not see him at Chelsea, but then you heard that he was at Chelsea. He didn't cut it at Chelsea, went to Germany, and we kind of know what happens in Germany. You know, like it's super soldier serum that you get over there. Like the numbers uploaded because the German league is just fast and loose. Is he really gonna cut it? And 50 million at that time, like, do they really want to pay this amount? And then it turned out to be a bargain. So I think, Chuck, it's one of the most dominant careers we've seen in the Premier League. Definitely in my eyes, the greatest player City have ever produced. He's in, as I say, my all-time Premier League 11. And in terms of calling time on his City career, I think it is the right time. The idea has been floating around for so many circles that you leave the game before it leaves you, or a great dancer knows when to leave the stage. Where this level is concerned, I do think that time has come for Kevin De Bruyne, and whether this season or the last season and a bit he's not quite been KDB as you've known him, I think that's not something that is going to come into consideration in my mind in terms of his legacy at Man City, because as I'm saying, he was absolutely riveting and absolutely dominant in his absolute pomp at Manchester City.
Look, when you look at Pep Guardiola's successes, right? The at this well, Barcelona was spoiled, right? I would have wanted to say at the center of his success at Barcelona was Messi, but there was also Xavi, right? At the center of his success at Bayern Munich, there was Thiago. There was also Rana was the right back,
Philip Lam.
Philip Lam as well. when you come to Man City, the main guy definitely is KDB. And I'll keep echoing these words until something happens that's good for Man United. Eras come to an end, and I believe with the departing of Kevin De Bruyne, this era has come to an end
I
because
just signal it, eh?
yeah, because as you're listing the great players, the Yaya Toures, the David Silvas, the companies, Agueros, he was there with all of them. And when they were good, it's because they were there alongside Kevin De Bruyne. So when he leaves, you ask yourself, who else in world football is good enough to come to City and build around? So, I mean, there are tens of players who can still be good and prove us wrong, but he was something special. So when he departs, and if you think about his level, right, it's not he can still play for another Premier League side and still be good, right? But at the level where we know Kevin De Bruyne to be, he's not that anymore, unfortunately. The injuries have ravaged what we know him to be and what he has done for City. Because if I think about it, Jay, I think it was because of COVID and an injury hit. He came back and said, because of what has happened, I'm going to play one more year than I already had planned to do, one more year. And then injuries hit him even more. So I don't know what he's going to do with his career at this point in time. It's a shame, actually, when you think about it. But always in our minds, Jay, was the goals against Real Madrid in the Champions League. I think quarterfinals, we're like, okay, City put on a masterclass. At the heart of that, Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know if...
And there were question marks in terms of, is he a big game player?
Yes. Those question marks actually followed him a lot around. But in the Premier League, definitely, without question, he delivered. It's in the Champions League, right? Obviously. I don't know if I recall this correctly, but in the game last, he won a 6-1 by City. Did he not score the first goal? There was a hit that he hit outside the box, just under the crossbar against David De Gea. I don't know if that signaled the first goal of the six. And I was like, here we go again. And those memories are never good. But he was such an exceptional player, Jay, for Belgium, for Man City. To a point where, Jay, if you think about when he was partnered with David Silva, he let him shine, but was still a very good player. When Haaland came, he became his running mate. When Yaya Toure was there, not quite at the same peak, but he was still there in and around the side. Vincent Kompany was his leader. Eventually succeeds him to be the leader as well of Man City. So you think about what he was and what he's become for City, almost akin to Nokumatlo, but Nokumatlo is very special. Can't be touched, that one. But I think Kevin De Bruyne has been special, Jay. As you said, goals, assists, just the fact that he can do just about anything, anywhere, the range of passing, the range of shooting. I think he was a pleasure to watch. As much as you hate Manchester City winning everything, you look at Kevin De Bruyne, you're like, but I like watching his football. And so that's the contrast that you have, right? So I think when he leaves, it's a shame for the game. It's a shame for Man City. But maybe finally eras have come to an end. Maybe with Sundowns. I don't know how many players need to leave Sundowns. Maybe that's what needs to happen for everyone to catch up. But yeah, I think things have changed majorly on the blue side of Manchester.
Yeah, Chuck. As you mentioned, whether he's playing with Silva and Silva's playing just ahead of him, or he's paired with a Gundogan, or he's asked to be the second striker, or when Haaland comes, yeah, he's drifting to the right hand side and is delivering those crosses, and maybe, which is quite the accolade, right? It's of course up for debate, but you might say Kevin De Bruyne is the greatest passer in Premier League history, which in football just is it's a significant title to hold, and I think Kevin De Bruyne, he definitely has his name in the hat, and he might be the guy who sits on top of that pile. And what a truly great Premier League career it has been for KDB. It has been a pleasure to watch him. Neutrally, I think as people who support other teams, not so much. Which is a testament to his greatness in terms of how much he terrorized your team, or you did not look forward to a game against City, particularly because of the Ginger Ninja in the middle of the park for Manchester City.
Ginger Ninja, we won.
I had to get Chuck. That you're right. That is the man he has replaced in that midfield three. One ginger for another.
Blasphemy, I tell you.